Namaste, this is Monica, and I welcome you to this Yin Yoga practice, which is very, I would say, versatile because we'll be working on different key areas of the body like your shoulders, your groin, hips, bit of stretch for your quads, your lower back, your hamstrings. So we will be covering a lot in this practice. So we hold into our asana for a very long time, and if you have been practicing with me or otherwise, you know how Yin Yoga works. And you can directly head to the session. But if you haven't practiced Yin Yoga before, please understand that we hold into our asana for a long time, about 3 to 5 minutes, which means we have to keep certain things in mind, that whenever we are going into our pose, we find an appropriate depth for ourselves so that we are able to hold into our asana for that long. So we are not pushing ourselves, we are just reaching to a 60 to 70% capacity and slowly maybe going deeper, finding the new edge. And finding the new edge can also be sometimes you go deeper in the beginning and you push yourself, and then you realize that, oh, this is too much for me to hold for that long, and then you come back to a lesser, deeper pose. So yes, you can explore yourself there. We also remain still while we are holding into our asana, find the inner stillness, find the inner pause with this practice. We also try and hold for the time that we have decided. So it may happen that during the practice your mind will say that this is too much, or it is already waiting for the asana to get over. And I would say the way you can navigate through it is by just breathing through it, and one breath at a time, just count your breath, and that will really help you sailing through this practice. So, oh yes, also, before I forget, grab some cushions, pillows, bolster, whatever props that you have around you for this practice. Things can be more easier and accessible with the props, but you can do this practice without the props as well. With that, without any delay, I would love to see you on the mat with me, getting into this beautiful practice together. So you can swing your knees back. Place your palms in front of you, bring your big toes together and maybe lift your knee one by one, and then take your hips back as you keep your knees wide open, little bit wider than your hip distance apart. And then maybe sink your chest down, walk your palms forward. If you want to work deeper on your shoulders here, then I would suggest to use blocks, or maybe you can use cushions or the bolster in front of you, and resting the bottom of your palms over the blocks. Send them as far from you as it is possible, and then start to sink your chest down. Over here, if you feel that you need to support your ankles with a folded napkin, do that. You may want to support your hips with a cushion underneath. You can do that if your hips are not reaching to the heel. And we are going to spend some time here into breath awareness. Allow yourself to watch your breath. Let your torso be absolutely free, loose. You can rest your forehead on the mat or chin. You can decide for yourself what feels more comfortable, or you can keep changing. And notice your natural rhythm of the breath. Continue to relax into your being, into your breath awareness. letting go of all the control from the torso, from your body, allowing it to settle down fully on the ground. If it reaches the ground, if it doesn't, that's okay. Watch your breath flowing all the way down to your tailbone. Feel the expansion in your hip area as you inhale. And as you exhale, watch the breath traveling back out through your nostrils. Press your palms down on the mat. Start to lift your torso nice and slow. Place your palms on the mat and walk your palms back, coming back in the center. Bring your torso back in the center. Palms on the side. Lift your knees up, knees back together. And if you want, just for a few breaths, bring your torso again down. Just bringing your groin muscles back to its normal position. About 5 to 10 breaths here. Into the child pose, but with knees together. And slowly lift yourself back up. We are going to chant one Om Three Shantis to begin a session. Join your palms to the heart center. Breathe in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. As you exhale, you can open your eyes. From here, we will first move into the Sphinx pose. So begin to lie down on the belly, and if you want to grab some cushions for this particular pose, you can do so. Maybe placing the cushion underneath your pelvis, or you may want to place a bolster under your chest. So I will show you all the variations. So once you come down, maybe first place your forearms down on the mat. Lift your torso. If this feels uncomfortable, grab the bolster. Support your chest with the bolster. Just underneath the bottom part of your chest. Be placing your elbows beyond the bolster. You can simply stay here, or you can drop the head down. Relax your neck completely as you relax your torso. So I would leave this choice to you. If you want to use the bolster, you want to use the number of pillows maybe, or without the bolster, whatever feels more comfortable to you. But once you find the edge, once you find the point which is comfortable enough for you to hold into about 4 minutes, that's when we move into the stillness. We move within, we move inward, feeling the sensations within the body, feeling everything that is happening in the mind, and connecting with the breath. And whenever you feel that everything is getting uncomfortable, start to watch your breath. One breath at a time, one breath at a time. Making sure you're listening to your body. If you have to find a new edge in terms of going back to a lesser, deeper state, feel free to do that. So finding the new edge can be going deeper into the asana or going into the lesser, deeper state. So you need to hold here for a few minutes. Feel free to interlace your fingers if you want to. You can surrender your neck fully as well, just letting it fall down towards the ground. I'm feeling the lengthening in the back of the neck. And learn to surrender through this practice. We can just surrender the body weight on the ground, surrender the torso, surrender your shoulders, surrender everything. And believe in your practice, the asana would work on your body itself. You don't have to consistently try and do something here. Once you get into your asana, just surrender. For next 1 minute, if it is possible for you, bend your right and left knee. Take your knees a little bit away from each other if you can, and bringing your feet together, meeting them in between. Maybe the big toes touching. If they are not touching, that's okay, but bringing them a little bit towards inside. And from here, start to drop your legs on the ground again. Place your palms on the mat. Lift yourself back up. If you are using the bolster, slide the bolster out, resting your forearm again on the mat. And we are going to lie down on our belly fully from here. We are going to work on our shoulders. So stretch your arms in the T shape, resting your chin on the mat. Now place your right palm outside the chest, bend both of the knees, and then drop both of your shin from on the left side. The side of your head resting on the floor. If you want to support your head with a cushion, feel free to do that because we're going to hold for a little bit longer. And then maybe opening your right knee towards the ceiling. This is how you would be working on your hip and your groin as well. Your right palm can be right next to your chest, or if it is comfortable for you, maybe place it behind your back or maybe catching hold of your other palm, whatever is possible. So let me show you from the other side as well. So this is how it will look from the back. Maybe holding onto your palm or just resting your arm on the back. So choose your variation here. Feel the opening in your left shoulder. More you take your right knee back, more you feel this opening in the left shoulder here. And surrender. It's easy to surrender your arm just behind the back. Just let it fall down. If you try and catch hold of the palm, it can be little bit more active asana for you to hold. But if it feels comfortable to you, you can hold into that position as well. Allow your torso to surrender. All the body weight settling down. Remember to remain still. Once you find the edge, you remain still. Don't make many unnecessary movement. But of course, if you found the new edge, you can move. If you want to adjust yourself to make it feel more comfortable for you, you can move. But we are not making any unnecessary movement here. And let us now slowly move on to the other side. Extend your right arm, left arm next to your chest. Bend both of the knees. Bring your feet closer to your hips and then drop your legs, drop your feet on the ground as you open your left leg, left knee up, pointing towards the ceiling. Again, start to bring your chest back in the center. Both of your palms on the side of the chest. Lift yourself back up. Come onto your fours. We are going to move into the low lunge. And for that, if you want, you can also use the block on either side of the foot to support your arms. I'll show you. So from your fours, take your right leg forward. Bring it in between your palms. And I would suggest to support your back knee also with the cushion. Now you can just simply stay here, or if you feel you can take more stretch in your groin, in your hip area, in your thigh, then allow your hips to sink forward and you can slide your left leg back and just find your edge, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Now you can rest your arms on both sides or take the blocks, keep the arms on the block so that you can really relax the torso. So that's the idea of using the block here. We want our torso to be relaxed and full focus on the stretch in the groin and the thigh and your hip, and notice how that is working out for you. So keeping the body weight in the center and maybe dropping the head down, and we're going to stay here for about 3 minutes. All the props are optional. You can do this without any of these props. So if it feels comfortable for you, feel free to move without props. And notice all the sensation here. This can get a little challenging as we hold for a long time.
but breathing at a time, one breath at a time, one breath at a time. Just focus on one breath at a time. So our mind has tendency, when it feels uncomfortable, it already waits for the situation to get over, and there comes the resistance, and you may experience the same resistance here. And maybe navigating through that just by connecting with your breath, by coming back into the present moment and not looking forward to the end of the asana. And tuck your back toe. Start to bring your hips back. Straightening your right knee, just staying here for a minute. You can continue to place your palms on the block and allow your torso to be just relaxed. Let it fall down. So into the half split, if you want, you can also lift the toes up. If your feet is on the ground, then lift the toes up a little bit, resting on the heel. Allow your spine to round, that's okay, and allow your head to just drop down. You can bend your elbows, resting the body weight, resting the weight of the torso on the arms, palms, and relax. And place your foot back down, bring your hips forward, and then slide your right leg back. And we are going to move on to the left side now. So maybe support your right knee with the cushion. Take your left leg forward, sink your hips forward, find your edge. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. And remember, you can always find the new edge, so you don't have to push yourself from the beginning. Become aware of your body, become aware of your body's language, and accordingly get into the appropriate depth. And take your hips back for a minute. We stay in half split. And you can keep your knees slightly bent. Maybe draw your blocks a little bit more back. Relax the torso, round your back if you have to. Relax the shoulders. And slowly bring your foot back down. Draw your left leg back. Come into kneeling down position. We are going to move into the puppy pose. So I would suggest place a cushion under your knees. Support your cushion and support your knees with the cushion, because we are going to hold here for about 2 to 3 minutes. If you want, you can place the blocks in front of you. If not, that's perfectly fine. So you can come on your fours, keep your hips aligned with your knees, and start to walk your palms forward. If you're using the block, then hold the block and walk them a little bit away from you. And then start to sink your chest down from here. The back of your foot may be resting, or you may want to tuck your toe. If you want to support your chest with the cushion, you can also place a cushion under your chest. So keep it handy. Whenever you want to drag it in, you can drag, or if you want to remove it, you can remove it. And we're going to hold here for about 3 minutes. So this can really work on your shoulders a bit more, like we did in wide leg child pose. But if it gets too uncomfortable on your shoulders, you can remove the blocks. It can get a little challenging, so make sure that you're listening to your body, adjusting yourself accordingly. And remember, you can change the position of your neck. You can change it to resting the forehead on the mat, or resting your chin on the mat. And from here, press your forearms down and then lift your torso up. Walk your palms back. Little bit palms on your shoulders. Start to rotate your elbows. Releasing your palms here. Releasing the shoulders. And little bit movement in the neck. So maybe rotate your neck from right to the left. Change the direction. Coming back to the center. Now we'll be working a bit on our hips, lower back, hamstrings into dragonfly pose. So keep your hips on the ground, palms on the side. Open your leg one by one into the opposite direction. You can simply stay here in this pose, keeping your torso in the center. You can also keep blocks behind you, pressing the block away, lifting the torso, and then drop the head down. And if this feels too comfortable for you, and you feel that you can take a deeper stretch, then deeper stress in your tissues, then you can roll your thighs a little bit forward and sink the chest down. Maybe place your forearms down on the mat. Alternatively, you can use the bolster, placing the forearms on the bolster, maybe away. Keep walking your palms forward, or you may want to rest your chest on the bolster. So you can keep the bolster into the upright position, vertical, the short edge of the bolster touching the groin, and then you can just rest your chest on the bolster, resting your chin on the bolster, or maybe your elbows on the bolster. So there are multiple options, and explore yourself. There's nothing right and wrong in this practice. Everything is acceptable as long as you're enjoying yourself. So just find what is working for you and let us stay here for about 5 minutes. Since we are going to hold for 5 minutes, it's important that you find the right edge for yourself, not too deep, just good enough so that you can hold into your asana for a longer time. If you have to keep your knees bent slightly, feel free to do that. You can also support your knees with folded towel, napkin. You can make a roll, slid it under your knee. You can use as many props as you want to support your practice. There's nothing wrong in that. And it is okay to round your spine. Remember, in Yin Yoga, we are allowed to round our spine in all the forward folds, because it's important that whatever we are stressing our tissues, but the rest of the body should be relaxed. So that's why just keep your torso fully relaxed here.
press your palms back down on the mat, walk your palms back. Coming back to the center, we'll move into a counter pose for this particular asana, which is windshield wipers. So place your palms behind your hips, draw your heels closer to your sit bones, not too close, keeping your feet nice and wide. And then drop both of your knees to your right. Bring them back in the center to your left. And keep repeating for some time. About 3 to 4 times, both sides. And now we are going to lie down on our back. So we're going to move into a twist, also a variation of cat pulling its tail. So you can extend your legs in front of you, arms into the T shape. Now bend your right knee, drop your right knee to the right. If you want, support the knee with the cushion. And then bend your left knee as well. Draw your left foot closer to your left hip, as close as you can get. Take your right arm, catch hold of your left foot, and then maybe little pull towards you, and then just relax fully. So you're going to stay here for about 2 to 3 minutes, about 3 minutes, and make sure that you are able to fully relax, you're able to surrender. And if you can't reach to this foot, it's fine. You can just bend it as much as your body allows.
And slowly release and slowly straightening your left knee, nice and gentle, and then move on to the other side. And you can slowly release. Moving into a relaxation. So if you want, you can either keep your knees bent or straight, or support your knees with cushion, bolster, anything that you want. Palms away from your torso. Tuck your chin slightly in and allow yourself to relax fully. Allow your body to settle down on the mat. We're going to take nice deep breath. Inhale, nice and deep. And exhale as much as long as you can. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And with this exhalation, let go of all the control. And relax. Become aware. Become aware of everything into this experience. Your breath, your sensations, the sounds around you, any touch that you can feel, anything that you can smell. Focus maybe on one thing at a time and relax. And you can continue in this relaxation for as long as you wish. If you'd like to come out, start to move your toes, fingers gently. Maybe move your head from one side to the other, or any other movement, maybe rotating your ankles, rotating your wrists, just becoming aware of the body, and stretch your legs, stretch your arms up. Make whatever sound that you feel like making, releasing everything. Bend your knees, maybe roll over to your right. Make a pillow with your right hand and then slowly come up into your sitting posture. Let us take a moment to absorb the practice here. Let's join the palms together to the heart center. We'll be chanting one Om to seal this practice for today. Breathe in. As you exhale, you can open your eyes. Thank you for joining me in. I hope you're feeling relaxed and rejuvenated after this practice, found your inner pause and stillness for yourself. If you have any comments or anything to say, any suggestions, I would be happy to hear from you in the comment section. I wish you a wonderful day ahead, and I really hope to see you soon again in some other practice. Until then, bye-bye.